That's the thumbnail done. Welcome to this patch of grass and let's talk coffee. You and I both love coffee. We love the outdoors, so this should be fun. These are all mine. I've used them all loads. So this is 8 different ways that you can make coffee when you're out and about to get your coffee fix. And this is early in the morning, so that's great because I can drink a nice lot of coffee without worrying about it. We've got a classic instant coffee. We've got coffee in a bag. We'll talk about Cowboy coffee. We've got our single-use pour-overs and more traditional portable pour-overs. We've got the classic AeroPresses, or the classic now anyway. We've got our Mocha pots and we've got our French press cafetiere. So lots to talk about. I do want to cover things like weight and portability and cost and ease of use, cleanup and obviously taste and the experience of making coffee as well. So I'll clear the decks and we'll get some water on the boil and we'll start talking about instant coffee. We'll get a spoon full in there, and then we'll wait. First coffee of the day, this for me. Actually quite looking forward to it. Instant coffee gets a bit of a bad rap, doesn't it? Which is a shame because instant coffee has come on loads in the last few years. And you know, once you find a version that you like, it's fab. Especially if you're dashing out the door or you know you're in a hurry. Whack some instant coffee in a flask, boiling water, out the door, job's a good one. And the same is true when you're out and about. You can't get anything really that's lighter or cheaper or easier to clean up. Well, there is no cleanup, you just drink it and it's gone. It's so portable, it ticks so many boxes if you're out and about, which is why it's so incredibly popular. I think for me, where it falls down a little bit is obviously on the taste, and also just on the experience of making the coffee. I don't mind carrying a little extra weight, a little bit of inconvenience, a little bit of bulk, because what I'll get from it is an improvement in taste and a greater satisfaction in actually brewing of the coffee. So let's try this one. I'm gonna have to let it cool down a second, don't I? All right. See, there's nothing really wrong with that. Any coffee just tastes better outdoors for a start, but that's actually really nice. I can't remember the last time I drank instant coffee outdoors, so pleasantly surprised by that. All right, let's move on to coffee bags. Rocky. That dog's called Rocky too. There's someone shout a dog called Rocky. Coffee bags. Basically a tea bag with coffee in. Bung one in the pot. And gently pour. Now I love the idea, but I'll be honest, I'm still to find one that I like. I like quite strong coffee, and whichever ones I've tried, these ones were 25p each, and have a little tendency to split, and I found that in others as well, largely in the cup, which is really annoying. Okie dokie. Maybe more than 3 minutes, but don't know what it is. Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing or something. But I can never get coffee bags to taste the way I want them to. They're pretty cheap, you know, they're convenient, they're easy to carry in, they're easy to carry out. You just put this, you know, squeeze it out, put it in a Ziploc bag and you can leave no trace behind, which is great. But I've just never been satisfied with the taste. And with the splitting, it's been really frustrating. So, let's see if I can gently squeeze this out a little bit. I'll just put it on the corner of the table there. And we'll give this a taste. Honestly, it's my least favourite coffee. I'm going to put the tea bag in and I'll get a different mug and we'll leave this one and just see whether at any point in this video I'm happy with the flavour of this coffee. But like I said, if you can find one you like, you know, it is a different experience to instant. It's more of that ground coffee taste, but I just haven't found one that I like yet. So easy to use, reasonably cheap, very portable, easy to clean up, light as can be. So it ticks a lot of boxes, just doesn't tick the taste box for me or the enjoyment in making the coffee. So, but I'm gonna leave it and see. We'll put it there, we'll just leave it. I'll come back to it. Second mug. To be honest, as you can probably tell, I'm not a coffee expert. I love coffee, I love the taste, I love the enjoyment and the experience of making coffee. So if you know of a coffee bag out there that is really, really delicious, please put it in the comments below. That'll be fab. Or simple ways that I can improve my technique, put it in the comments below. And also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, that'd be great as well. Okie dokie, Cowboy coffee. This is how I've done it in the past. And I've done it because I've forgotten things, or, you know, I know that if I take 3 scoops with my blue spoon, it basically equates to about 15 grams of coffee, which is kind of what I use in the AeroPress and other things. So I've just brought up some more coffee, water, and there we go. That is the beginnings of my version of Cowboy coffee. I know there are different ways of doing it. A lot of people will say you put your grounds in and your water and you boil it that way and then you tip it out. I understand that there are probably better ways of doing it, but I don't want to get coffee grounds in my pot there, as well as have to wash this up and that up. If I'm at a campsite with running taps and kitchen facilities or whatever, then that's not really a problem. So I'm going to leave that for a couple minutes and then we'll add a little bit of water, which I didn't even think was a thing. I didn't think adding a bit of water would actually help settle the grounds to the bottom, but hey, it did, so great. All right, a couple of minutes have passed. Let's do the old sprinkle the water trick. All right, let's taste it. See, that's nice. But my problem is I've got a whole lot of grounds at the bottom and that makes it really awkward to clean. So for me, there are better ways of doing it, but in terms of a nice tasting coffee, can't go wrong with that. Yeah, it's good. And one day I might try it in a pot. Maybe I'll do it at home. Just try it in a pot, brew it up, and then do it the other way. So that worked really well, actually. So far, instant's been good. Oh, let's go back to our tea bag, shall we? Our coffee bag. No, give it some more. Right, next one. What's the next one? The single-use pour over. Let's get some more water on the boil. I love these. These are fab. And I love the sound of the stove as well. It's great, and I like the simple joys in life. Boiling water on a stove, in the sunshine, with a coffee. Okie doke, water to temperature. Excellent. These are great in theory. They're really cleverly designed. It's basically like a filter paper with these 2 little cardboard cutouts, and they fit really, really well. I love them a lot. I think they're really clever. And then when you're done with them, they fold. I'll show you when I've made a coffee. But they are small, and that's the problem. So let me put some coffee in there. That's where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm gonna have to probably do it in smaller amounts because it won't go in otherwise. Lost count. That's no good, is it? All right, so now you've got the problem of, I wonder if that's cool enough. Getting the water in here and gently pouring over. Fortunately, this pot's not too bad. Runs through really quickly, which I think is my issue with it. That's about right. And then we'll just fold those in. That'll help secure it. It drains through super quickly. So once you've done that, I love this. Oh, folds up like a little bag. That's what I really like, that kind of innovation. I think it's really clever. And when it comes to leaving no trace and, you know, making a coffee that you can just then put very easily in a Ziploc bag and just carry out, that is great. It's one of the reasons I really like them. Unfortunately, just don't like the coffee it produces. I have to be patient doing this. It has to cool down enough for me to be able to drink it. I mean, that's all right. But I know this ground coffee really, really well. I know what it should taste like. Honestly, if it could produce the flavour that I like, I love it. I love the design of it. If it had maybe a bigger filter or, I don't know, some little difference about it, I would totally be up for getting this. I'd even probably, I don't know, invest in a little collapsible silicone funnel or something. I just like it. I think it's a really good bit of design. However, not quite good enough. About 15p each. Doesn't weigh anything, it's compostable, you know, so I could just chuck it straight in the recycling, which is great. Easy to carry out off the trail or off the hike. So yeah, so many positives, unfortunately let down by the taste a little bit. All right, next one. I love this. This is the GSI Outdoors ultralight Java drip. Bit of a mouthful. I remember the first time I ever saw this, it was in a video by a guy called Herman Hook, I think is how you pronounce his surname. He just released a video of him walking the Tour de Mont Blanc in the autumn, huge amounts of snow, and he was using one of these, and I didn't know what it was, so I messaged him and asked him two questions. One, what was the camera that he used, because the photography was incredible. That was the Panasonic GH5, and I said, what is your coffee filter? And he sent me his kit list and a link to this, and I've loved it ever since. I love the simplicity of it. I love the fact that it folds flat. I love the fact that the plastic is really, you know, it's flexible, it's rugged. I like that. I reckon, yeah, even if one was broken, I could probably just carry on with it. But I've used it absolutely loads and I've never had a single issue with it. The only adaptation that I make to it is I put a filter in it. Now I do that for two reasons. One, it just slows the process down a bit, and two, it makes it just easier to clean up. So it weighs 10 grams, which is 0.35 of an ounce, so it weighs pretty much nothing. In the UK it costs about £16, and with a filter like that, honestly, I love this. 1, 2, 3, just puts a smile on my face, because I know I'm going to get a lovely cup of coffee now, which is great. Do that, let them settle a little bit. This is where the experience of making coffee, the enjoyment of making the coffee comes in. And there's only been 2 times in my entire life where I've videoed myself making coffee, which is why there's no kind of clips of me making coffee. One was by a lake in the Lake District with this, and one was up a mountain above Chamonix with an AeroPress, which I'll talk about in a minute. Very, very straightforward, very light, very easy to pack away. And once it's done its work, I just fish out the filter, and that goes in a Ziploc bag, and I can dispose of that. I can carry it out. It's great for a day hike. Very straightforward. I just want to drink the coffee. All right, good enough. So I'll just pick that up, give it a little squeeze. And then, to be honest, I don't do much with this, really. I just give it a little shake in the air. Cheers. Oh, that's good. Light, easy, with a filter, great for leave no trace, pack in, pack out. Great coffee, lovely experience. Thoroughly recommend these. The GSI Outdoor Ultralight Java Drip. All right. This is another kind of drip, and I was going to pull it apart to show you what it's like in bits and then put it back together. To be honest, it's an absolute nightmare. I can never assemble it or disassemble it. So this one's 88 grams, it's about 3 ounces. Cost me a tenner, which is probably indicative of the quality. It does sit on there. The whole thing is redundant, really, isn't it? If you can't actually take it apart. I'll tell you what, it sits on there, not very well. Put a filter in it, bit of coffee, boiling water, and it does its job. But it's just badly designed, because literally, I can't get it apart. So we'll skip that one. Coffee bag. No, it's a lost cause. All right, next one, let's get this on. All right, the mighty AeroPress in its 2 versions. Put that one, actually let's put that one down for now. This is genius, isn't it? And I'm sure you don't need any, it doesn't need any introduction. This is the classic one, weighs 183 grams, 6.4 ounces. I needed my phone that one, because when it comes to the AeroPress Go, there's lots of different weights. Obviously there are different ways of using an AeroPress as World Championships, for goodness sake. So it's very unlikely that we're all going to agree on the one way to make it. I do it kind of the classic way, and I've been doing this. I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times, because pretty much every single day, or multiple times a day, to be honest, because I drink too much coffee. I use the AeroPress. Yeah, this is how I make coffee. And I know that the inventor of it said you should only do a certain amount. Honestly, I just do that, and then I plunge a little bit, and then I just leave it. All right, so 183 grams in weight. It's about 30 pounds. It works beautifully, comes with a bunch of filters. This is the filter case from the Go. It's great, I think, really useful, especially for hiking, because I can just chuck that in there and I don't have to worry about filters wandering around. Consistent, reliable, easy, great tasting coffee. Portability, it's not the best. I love this on a day hike, and I'll make space for this on a day hike. And, you know, a bit of wild camping, if I can, I will as well. Depends what I'm taking, if I'm taking more than one camera or a drone and stuff like that. If I can, I'll take this. If I can't, I'll take the GSI outdoor Java drip. So yeah, let's just plunge it. And I know there are some views on the hiss part, but particularly when I'm out and about, I'll push it down pretty much as far as it will go, because what you get then is, I haven't got anything to do it onto. I'll do it onto the table because I can clean it up after. When you undo that and you think, all right, what am I doing with my mess? Well, for a start, if I'm day hiking and I'm only having one cup, then that will just stay in there and I'll transport that home and there's no waste at all. If I'm wild camping and I might have more than one, I've just taken that apart now, haven't I? I'll just pop the puck out. And I've made a complete mess of it because I open it up and then put it back together again. But normally all of that will stay in one nice compact thing, and I'll just pop it straight into a Ziploc bag and that'll be job done. 15 grams of coffee equates to a 30-gram puck when it's coming out the other end. So that's great. So although I've made a complete and utter mess there, normally it's a really clean way. The only disadvantage is the weight and the bulk of it. But if you're willing to, you know, see that as a price you're happy to pay for the experience and the quality of the coffee it makes, you can't go wrong with that. Or actually, you can do better. It tastes so good because you can get the Go. I'm gonna put that over there so it doesn't blow away. The Go is slightly smaller. Let me give you the weights. So the big one's 183 grams, 6.4 ounces, 30 pounds. And this one, all together, when it's all compacted together, like that, with that big red kind of rubber thing, silicone thing, or whatever it is on the top, it weighs 310 grams. But if you take that lid off, it goes down to 257 grams. If you take the cup away, so if you're just comparing like with like, it goes down to basically 160 grams. So it's 23 grams lighter than the big one. Well, obviously it would be because it's shorter. Some people don't like the mug. I really like the mug. I really like the fact that it's all in one. So when I'm out and about, that's it. And this area here, I can put a little Ziploc bag of 4 or 5 coffees worth of coffee grounds in a bag in there, and that goes in there, and that's all contained. I'll put an elastic band around it rather than that red thing, and then I'll take that. So rather than this, the coffee will go into there. And for me, that works even better than the big one. It's a little bit smaller, which makes it a little bit easier to pack away. It's a little bit lighter, so that helps too. But in terms of its functionality, functions exactly the same. Excellent, consistent, good filters. You can't go wrong with an AeroPress. I love an AeroPress. All right, let's move on to Mocha pots. I love these too. Let's get some water going. Okie dokie. Right, I did mean to say that the AeroPress Go is about 31 pounds, so it's about £1 more than the original, which isn't bad value when you get a cup and everything else. So, and both of them are just excellent value anyway. Right, let's do this. I think it gives you better flavour boiling the water first, and this gets really, really hot, so I kind of get it on there as soon as I possibly can before I finish topping up. Obviously then got to drop that in there, and then need to add some coffee. This is probably not the way, it's not quite the way I do it when I do it at home, to be honest. I do it all off the stove, but I don't know why I'm doing it this way. And let's get that on there. Yeah, that was a terrible idea, wasn't it? Why did I do it that way for? Anyways, there is another hack, let's take that off there, that I forgot about, that I do now, and my wife does, because she loves a Mocha coffee in the morning, is if you take an AeroPress filter and you just put it in there, it fits perfectly. You have to make sure it stays. You could put a little bit of water on it or something just to help it stay in place, probably. There we go. And then put that on there. What that does is it slows the extraction. But for me, when we're camping or out and about, it means that when you come to dispose of the grounds, you haven't got that little bit of leftovers stuck around the gasket and all that kind of stuff. And it just gives you that amazing coffee experience, doesn't it? There's just something magical about doing this. Here it comes. Honestly, this is so satisfying. Outdoors, a Mocha pot, starting to froth. Turn it off. That is a thing of beauty. But if there was a way of taking that on a wild camp, I mean, you could take it on a wild camp, that would actually work, but size and heavy and so on is a bit tricky. But it makes a lovely, lovely coffee. Taste is amazing. That is such a nice coffee. Even after all these other coffees, they've just got better and better as they've gone along, but that is such a nice coffee. Filming this on a Sunday morning. Happy as Larry. I love being outside and I love coffee. £23, perfect for car camping, family camping, any place where, you know, it's not going to be an issue carrying it out. In terms of cleaning, you basically open it up. Where the AeroPress filter is, you just take that off and that takes care of any grounds that are in the sort of the gasket area. Then it's a question of just getting the funnel out, banging it out into a Ziploc bag, scooching a finger around to just get any dregs off, and pretty much that's done. Away you go, ready to go again. And obviously, I haven't talked much about, if there's multiple people, then a bigger one is great. Or you can, you know, you can dilute these down anyway, can't you? You can make a kind of a Mocha pot Americano, something like that. So it's just the French press left. I spent so long kneeling down, I think my legs have gone to sleep. Probably everybody knows how a French press works. Okie dokie, and then there was silence. This is really representational, this one. This weighs I think like 460 grams or something, but you can get single cup ones, and even better than that, if you've got like an MSR or a jet boil system, you can just buy the kind of the plungery bits. I think the silicone one for the jet boil is like £16, and I don't know, not many grams. I think it's like 35 grams or something like that. It's not too bad at all. And then, you know, it's a small addition anyway, and you can keep it kind of inside. So certainly this one I wouldn't recommend, but if there's one of you and you've got a single cup and a single cup plunger, then it might work out. But if there's more than one of you, then this kind of thing or a version of it would be great, because it's a real kind of communal way of doing coffee. I'm not going to take too much care over this. So you leave that for a bit. Great for a car camping, family camping trip, multiple people where you can kind of maybe share the load a little bit. My problem again is how do you clean it? How do you carry out the grounds? How do you leave no trace? Which for me is really, really important. I'm not one to kind of put grounds on the floor. I basically, whatever I pack in, I want to pack out. So it becomes really problematic, doesn't it? Because you plunge it and it's great. Oh, that's nice. Yep. I'll pour it all in. Because when you take that out, it's just a bit of a mess. You've got sludge there and you've got sludge there. And I'm not sure how you deal with that if you're wild camping or you're day hiking. So not my preferred method for those kind of things at all, but definitely for, you know, group camping, car camping, it's a nice addition. But it tastes all right. It doesn't taste as good as the old Mocha or the AeroPress, or I would say even the Java drip by GSI, but nice nevertheless. How do I sum all this up? First thing, find a coffee that you like. This is the instant coffee that I like. This is the ground coffee that I like. Second, work out what it is you want to do and then find a method of brewing that fits what you want to do. So if you're car camping, family camping, or there's a bunch of you going away together and you can spread the load around a little bit, then any of these are great. If it's just you and you're wild camping for the night or you're day hiking and you want to keep the weight low, then maybe you'll go with instant or a Java drip, or maybe you'll take the AeroPress. Or maybe you'll think, actually, I love my Mocha pot so much, I'm going to take my Mocha pot. And you'll be halfway up a mountain using your Mocha pot. That'd be great. Doesn't matter. Find a coffee you like, work out what you want to do, and then find a method that fits that. And hopefully I've given you a little bit of help to work some of those things out. If nothing else, I've drunk a lot of coffee and I've enjoyed it. And I'm in the outdoors, and that's just incredible anyway, isn't it? So, till next time, take care and keep drinking your coffee and enjoy it.